Hi everybody, this is Shannon Paris here. It's been brought to my attention of a lot of things and I need to address it. I'm dubbing this video we need to talk about Shannon Gaga because it seems like this was 10 years ago. Everybody knows that way in 2009, 2010, 2011, around that time, I was going to Texas State. I was doing the Gaga stuff and I was a big fan of Lady Gaga and it's a very difficult subject to talk about. I feel like I don't go by Shannon Gaga anymore. I don't really do Gaga anymore. I mean, sure, I'll do a Gaga song every once in a while, but I'm not impersonating her. Or I'll just do a song, not dressed like her, but just just do the song. In other words, lip sync the song or whatever. I'm not trying to be rude or anything. But I've noticed a lot that it doesn't matter where I go. It seems like if I go to Fort Worth, it happened. It happens locally from time to time. But I just feel very put off by it, I guess, because that happened 10 years ago, and people still remember. It kind of throws me off. So I've decided to do my own version of, how BuzzFeed does those, how you made into a meme. I wasn't necessarily made into a meme, but it did have consequences, and it did have things happen. So this is kind of that story in a way. And so, there also were rumors going on that I died and all this, and that's not true either. Clearly I'm alive and kicking. Maybe the name Shannon Gaga died, but not me. So, the first thing it started in 2009, 2010 when I came to Texas State. I was 18, 19, out of high school. I was very young. I didn't know what I was doing. I was still very inexperienced. I was still very, very, I don't know how to say it. I didn't know any better. I was still naive, young, out of high school. I was trying to experience life because, as I've said in previous interviews in the past, my dad never let me do anything. I understand the whole dressing inappropriately. Back then, originally the whole Gaga thing was just, I was going to do it for Halloween and that was it. Sorry. I was never planning on performing. I was never planning on doing any of those things. It happened. It kind of just happened. Shortly after that, there was a video the infamous Bad Romance video that got recorded by a friend of mine at Texas State. That video was meant we were just playing around and goofing off. We weren't really taking it seriously. It wasn't meant to be. But that video seems to be associated with me more than the videos I made later on. Later on, I made videos that were more prepared, I guess. But they still were around. I mean, I actually, at the time, I ended up having to remove those videos and make them unlisted. And because when I got back from Texas State, in 2012, I got a job at Taco Bell, and somehow they found out about my videos. I don't know how or why. I don't know if somebody at the job knew who I was, or somebody or a customer saw me and they stitched me off. I don't know how, because my persona at work and at school is a different persona than when I'm on stage. I'm a different person on stage. So that was, at the time I wasn't performing, so it was kind of weird that somebody was doing that. I don't know why, but I ended up getting fired from Taco Bell as a result, and they said because of my videos, and I didn't get that, but it is what it is. I moved on. I mean, some people say I should have sued them for, improper, unfair dismissal, I think is what it's called. Anyway, I let that go because it's just Taco Bell, and chances are, Taco Bell it would have been just a part-time job, and it was just a job. At that time, I was like 21, so it was still 21, and I was still younger back. I'm not old now, but I feel like I've aged a lot. I'm 30 now, so you should really put that in perspective. That I was younger then. I was kind of dumb in some ways. But I've changed a lot since then. So, a lot of people are wondering what happened after 2012. What I didn't stop. I didn't stop. I ended up performing here locally, and performing locally was ultimately sorry. Performing locally is good, and I started performing with this organization, called TRE, or Texas River Empire, where I performed for the court and it's for charity. Originally, they allowed anybody to perform, and so I decided to, I was a friend of the court at first. And this is crazy because in 2012, when I first started performing for these functions, again, I did not know how to. I dressed better than I did in the Gaga years. I started doing Adele and a couple other artists I like besides Gaga at the time, and I was trying to sing live, which isn't a bad thing. I don't sing live. I've done it a couple times, but I'm not a singer. And I don't pretend to be a singer because I'm not. I wish I was. I wish I could sing live. I wish I had that talent. I'm not a trained singer. I've never have been. I'm not a trained dancer. But you don't have to to perform drag. So you just have to look like you know what you're doing. It helps to have those extra talents, no doubt of that. So the next thing so after 2012, after I started performing for the court as a friend, my drag mother, God rest her soul, because she has passed on in 2018, Mandy Moore Paris, took me under her wing. Now, I did not I'm gonna admit that when I was at Texas State, and even up until I got under her wing, I did not know how to do hair, makeup, how to dress, all that stuff. And she taught me how to dress tastefully, how to wear tights with leotard, and dance costumes and all that. And we had a good friendship for a while, and there's things that she did too that I don't want to talk about because she was kind of mean. But the point is, she changed me. And there's some people that say, what happened to her? Like, what happened to Shannon? Why did she, her energy when she didn't care when she was Shannon Gaga, and now she does all of a sudden. And it's because, in a way, Mandy did make me self-conscious. I'm not gonna. I love Mandy to death. I loved her to death, and I cared about her. But as people have said, she changed me in a way that made me, make me think of everything more than ever. Sorry. Sorry about that. Well, anyway, I ended up, learning from her, and she taught me how to do a lot of things. And after a while, me and her kind of grew apart. I decided to do more things on my own. I became an actual member of the court. I became active, which is something that I talk about a lot in my previous videos, that I do travel, and I do court shows, and most of the videos on this channel are all from court shows. And people are going to ask me a lot of questions that I commonly ask, and I'm going to address them because I feel that there's a need to. And then, of course, in 2016, 2018, I did pageants, and that was a different experiment in regards to going to the court. And then now, currently, I do this channel is my new channel, Shannon Paris. There is no. I cannot access the old one. It's like Shannon Sunshine, and it was Shannon Gaga at some point. But it was that channel I can't access anymore. I can't log into it anymore. So the videos that are on there are going to probably have to remain there. And then the videos that other people posted that are floating around YouTube, they're going to remain there. I can't do nothing about them. So that's, I was interviewed by several people, and even back then I didn't know how to interview. So, but fun fact is that when I competed for Missouri Diva in 2017, they actually asked me about Shannon Gaga, which I don't know why, because they basically asked me, you were so famous, you were so this, you were so that. I mean, they asked me, oh, you're famous. You did why give all that up to do pageants? And I said, well, I answered this honestly. I said, back in when I did all that, I was just out of high school. I did not know what I was doing. I did not know how to do makeup. I did not do anything. It wasn't until I learned from my drag mother and other people how to properly present myself. And also, I learned to branch out and do other artists. I'm not limited by one artist, and I still am not. In fact, I've done almost every type of genre of music. I've done country. I've done pop. I've done a little bit of rock. I've done musical theater. I've done almost any variety of music for the most part. There's maybe a handful of genres I have not done, but I've even done rap a couple of times. So there is still. I've learned to do more than just one or two types of music or one or two types of singers, just because that makes it easier. Why am I doing this video? As I've said, it's because I feel like there is a lot of, people still approach me, and I still have to explain to them the story over and over that I'm not Shannon Gaga anymore. I'm Shannon Paris, and I perform on stage still, and I do all those things. And people ask me, do you still perform and make videos? Well, I mean, yes, I still perform. I perform at the court, and I do charity events, and every once in a while I'll get a booking, but I don't get paid for most of the shows. I do all charity work, which is a great thing. It's very rewarding, and I don't care because it's an opportunity for me to be seen and be on stage, because I like to perform. And no matter what genre I do, whether it's, like we have a show next week for an ABBA themed show next week, at the Hidden Door, I'm going to be performing in that show. I don't know a whole bunch about ABBA. I know some songs by them, but I'm not an expert or anything. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. My next thing is, this channel does have videos, and I started posting these videos on this channel. I made my own new channel because, one, I couldn't access the old one, and two, this is a new chapter for me, and also I have to, with COVID, I have to be very aware of everything. In case we go back to virtual shows, I have some videos I can submit, and I try to record whenever I can, but not every show gets recorded. So, my Broadway show got recorded, that one number I did, the Speechless number I did, the first show I did back after I got injured, I did. I mean, I've done enough, I've done several, and I've also recorded a few performances of my mom, who does the shows as well, and my drag sister, Jackie, who does shows as well. So I try to post their videos sometimes if they ask me to. Facebook has been a limited media as far as posting videos. That's why I've switched to YouTube. And people ask me, why don't you do Gaga anymore? We loved you as your old you. Well, I'm not that person anymore. I don't feel, I don't feel connected to Gaga anymore either. I don't, sure, I'll listen to her every once in a while. Every once in a while I'll do a number for her, by her, but I typically don't do Gaga anymore. I've been like a year and a half ago, I did Telephone as a duet with my sister Jackie. And we, people, she's still trying to get me to do Rain on Me with her. But she wants me to be Ari. Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I can learn any song. Me and her did a country duet a couple months ago. So, I mean, and then recently I did the Scholar Sisters with her and my mom. So it's like, I feel I'm just showing I'm starting to show different skill sets. As I said, I still perform, I still do drag, and also I'm currently going to school to be a pharmacy tech. I actually live in my own apartment in Corpus Christi. I think I'd like to say I live a semi-normal life for the most part. I work at home, I go to school at home, and I do the court and charity work and perform, and when I have time, of course. It doesn't mean I can't attend everything, but it's still it's fun, and my next experience is going to be going to Oklahoma in a couple weeks. Oklahoma coronation is going to be on the 15th through the 18th, I believe. So I'm leaving Thursday, coming back Monday. My plan currently is to go and enjoy. I want to enjoy it. My plan is to enjoy it and do what I gotta do and represent the court and have that opportunity to be seen outside of Texas. This is my first out-of-state trip since COVID's happened. I went to Fort Worth a couple weeks ago, and it was great. They required masks, and I'm now officially vaccinated, which I'll tell a vaccination story later. So that's going to be the next one. The next one, a lot of people ask me, am I an ally or LGBT? When I was Shannon Gaga, I was more of an ally, and I still wasn't in terms of my sexuality, but now I'm more openly gay about my sexuality. People still think I'm straight. I laugh because people assume that I'm straight, and I'll tell them I'm gay. If a guy hits on me and I don't go to straight bars, but when I go to a gay bar, there's a guy hitting on me, I'm like, I'm gay. I'm very nonchalant about it. People don't believe it, but don't assume. When I was with my ex, they were like, I had no idea you were gay. I haven't hit it. I just don't say it every 5 minutes. That's the only thing. And so that's all. That's pretty much what's been going on with me. With work, school. I have a pretty busy life, but I try to stay busy too. And I'm not the person I was in 2009 or 2010. That was 10, 11 years ago. That was a long time ago. It feels like it's crazy to think it's been that long, and people still remember you as that. But I'm Shannon Paris. I'm here to stay, and I still perform and do what I gotta do. So I thought I would do this video and let people know that I'm still here. I'm not dead. I'm still doing what I gotta do. Love y'all. Bye.